After a 45-minute rain delay pushed back the start of tonight's matchup between the Marlins and the Gnomes, Morehead City loses its longest matchup of the 2025 season, 7-6 in extra innings. It was a pretty lengthy one here from The Rock, and we're here to break it all down on the Marlins postgame show. I'm Christian Gnomes, joined alongside Lance Williams and Trey Keenis. Lance, there were a lot of times this game where the Fish had a chance to come back and jump out in front, but a lot of guys just getting left on base, despite the Fish scoring 4 different times off of wild pitches, just not enough in the end.
Yeah, those ugly 3 letters, L-O-B. They were hitless with runners in scoring position. They left 14 on base. They scored all their runs either off sacrifice flies or off wild pitches, as you mentioned. That's a tough way for the offense to go out, especially against a team like Greenville that is last in the CPL in ERA, second to last in WHIP. This is not a very good pitching team that they faced. They're short-staffed with this long stretch of games that they're playing. They threw a position guy in the 10th inning, and they couldn't get the job done. I mean, that's just a heartbreaker for this Morehead City offense and a game that they want to push to the back of their head and just forget about.
Yeah, now 3 straight losses for Morehead City against a Greenville team that's been really pesky against this squad in the last few matchups that they've had. Switching things over to what's ahead for Morehead City, though, Trey. This team makes the long drive down to Macon, Georgia to take on the Bacon, and then they'll make a 4-hour trip up to take on the Florence Flamingos. This is a Morehead City team that is 4-1 against Western Division opponents. What is going to be key for Morehead City going into that stretch of games?
I think it really relies on 2 things, and I think it starts with the starting pitching for Morehead City. We've seen a lot of times throughout the season, right, with tonight's loss now, Morehead City goes to 5-10 when the opponent scores first. This is a team that needs their starting pitching to almost rely on to feel comfortable. When this is an offense that has to play from behind, it usually doesn't bode well for them. So we saw that tonight once again with Greenville punching first and then Morehead City just really trying to pull ahead, and they really couldn't. You mentioned 3 runs scored on wild pitches, 3 runs scored off of sacrifice flies, the lack of execution with runners in scoring position. But I really think it starts with the starting pitching. Is this a team that can play from behind? We haven't really seen it yet this season. So this group really has to rely on their starting pitching, but also the offense as well, right? We saw them tonight really struggle overall. Some ugly runs coming in to score, but ultimately, you got to be able to take advantage when you have runners in scoring position. You got to be able to start momentum. We saw Tanner Malley tonight, who's really been struggling now 4 consecutive games without a hit, the longest streak he's faced all season. So this is a team now, as we see a couple faces come and go, and in the home stretch this season, trying to make a push for the playoffs, you got to rely on your cornerstone offensive pieces. That starts with Tanner Malley. It starts with Nate Anderson. We haven't seen it as of recent, and maybe that's just because they faced a Greenville team that knows them all too well at this point. But you play 2 teams now, Florence and Macon, as you've mentioned. They've really taken advantage of the West so far this season, and 2 teams in Florence and Macon that sit towards the bottom of that West division. So hopefully you look at that and see an opportunity for them to get 2 wins. Obviously you want to take them one at a time, but to bounce back on track here and finish the season strong as they make that push for that 3rd playoff spot.
Morehead City clinging on to dear life for that 3rd playoff spot in the CPL East. They fall to 2018 on the 2025 season. Next up for the Marlins is that trip down to Macon to take on the Bacon. First pitch for that one is scheduled for 6:30. Myself and Trey will have the call for you down south. You're not going to want to miss the matchup. And for other updates on the Marlins throughout the 2025 campaign, you can follow our social media accounts. That's at MHC Marlins on Twitter and Instagram. But for now, signing off from The Rock, I'm Christian Gnomes, joined alongside Lance Williams and Trey Keenis. The Fish lose it in extras to the Gnomes, 7-6.